thing as well. But it is interesting that Undying is taking 2 core heroes right away, right? Is there any remote possibility that we're going to see a Synderen type Luna support, gentlemen? The 1 in 17 but still wins the game type support.
I have seen Moon Meander play it, but on previous patches. Though I do know that people have experimented with it even on this patch and going with like an ether lens to make up for the fact that you now lack the range talent, the cast range talent. So I could see it. I could see it with Moon.
Yeah.
He also is called Moon Meander, and she, of course, is a moon related hero. So I do feel like that would make a lot of sense for them. All right, back to you, Dakota.
It's a good point. It's a good point for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of putting their chips on the table, showing what I assume is their core game plan there. Curious how reactionary Sad Boys can be around that or not. I mean, they certainly have room with another support, with their cores to still pick into. All right, well, ban on the Lion. Now some of the cores are going to be taken away. The old trusty Jug already taken off the table.
Similar logic to what Jenkins was just bringing up. He opened up a whole can of horse here. The double mounts, gentlemen. Centaur, I consider a mount. He's mounting himself, which sounds maybe a little bit sexual in nature, but I promise you it's not. It's just the way he was born. And then obviously Luna is riding a panther, which may as well be a horse. Like, would you be surprised if they came out with a horse cosmetic?
Yes.
Like a persona, for example. It's the horse riding Luna. Would you be surprised? I wouldn't.
Yes.
I mean, Pudge is a puppet. You could do anything with a persona. Spectre could come out with a mount. That would make the Arcana actually good, as opposed to what I'm expecting, which will not be. They're just going to make it blue with red highlights. That's the Arcana.
What if they unmount her? She's just running. Has to do it the old-fashioned way.
That's true.
That sounds legit, like Axe with when he gets naked.
Yeah, there are some cool SFM of Luna running around with no mount, and it's a little bit scary, gentlemen. She's quite short. You can imagine.
Yeah. I think all the mounted heroes are... I mean, have you seen Chaos Knight? He looks so huge. He's a little guy up there. He's a tiny little man.
He has to be.
Well, jockeys
he's like,
I think are smaller, yeah.
He's like Lord Farquaad from Shirk. Shirk 2.
Shirk, yeah. That's a great flick.
Yeah. A flirk, if you will. Why would you ban a PL right out of the blue, huh? What are they thinking about? Is PL really that good against Luna? It just seems random.
I mean, maybe it's just really annoying here. They just don't want to deal with, even though Luna is, in theory, good against him eventually. I mean, we did see, like, OG just own with PL recently. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those heroes that if you can get it second phase and it feels like an okay game for, although this, like you said, it's not, doesn't feel like a free PL game. So
maybe they're just banning from what they know. Sad Boys has been picking in scrims. Like last time, I think it was EG said like this team has been beating us with Lycan. So it seems like Sad Boys, like within the scrims, has almost their own meta, and these teams are like, just we're not going to give you this in officials. Like you guys are too specialized. Like at least in the carry position, it seems that way.
This is looking like a really good Shadow Demon game, at least just from Undying's perspective of their lineup. You get the illusions of Luna later on, and then obviously the Hoof Stomp double edge combo that we've seen.
Now it's a god tier Shadow Demon game.
It's just an amazing Shadow tier game. If they don't pick Shadow Demon, I feel like they're greatly missing out on such a fantastic support pickup. Yeah.
I mean, you break the timber too.
Yeah,
like, I mean, this seems really good.
Unless they want to do not Trolly or Mimi and do like a Hoodwink pickup, which we've seen a couple of times from teams as a break option.
It literally just got banned.
Wow, just got banned.
Yeah, Sad Boys
Shadow Demon. Why was it Shadow Demon banned? I feel like that's still the better option here.
Definitely. But we'll see, because Nyx is kind of annoying for Shadow Demon, and like Spectre can jump you on the back lines. Like she is a backline jumper, and SD is a backliner, despite having the break counter. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. And I think probably Shadow Demon.
Well, if it's a double-edged sword, it's a good thing that you have double edge as a spell,
That's true.
Centaur.
Yes.
That's true. Makes
Now,
it even better.
If it's a double-edged sword, what is his double-edged? It's a double-edged horn, I believe. Correct? If they were to extend the name, I believe horn would be added because he uses his face. He just sticks his face in there and goes ham. Or horse in this case.
Horn this, horn that. It's sexual for you. Mounting. Come on, today. What is with you? Anyway,
Dark Willow,
Dark Willow
is a
Speaking of
flying
horn
creature,
this,
so it doesn't
Dark
really
Willow, go
synergize
on.
too well with the mounting strategy they have going on here. But
well, okay. No, none of their feet are touching the ground because they're all mounted. Of course, Centaur's legs are not his legs because he's mounted on himself. And
the front
Luna,
legs,
her
I
legs are
guess not.
floating.
well, he does have he has hoofs, right? So technically, those are the things that are touching the ground, not his legs.
Well,
So
people.
technically, their legs are above.
I mean, do shoes count then? Like,
No,
okay,
no.
hooves
Stick
do
with
though.
it, Jenkins.
Floating
Stick, just go all in
human
here.
feet.
Sorry
okay?
about that. I am all in,
Reaching.
Just
Dakota.
commit.
Ooh, Necro comes
I would.
out.
I mean, in theory, Necro not good against Luna.
Dude, this is the best
Right.
SD game I've ever seen. Shadow Demon nullifies Necro's entire existence. You purge him and he can't press any button. You can you also have the save for the Reaper Scythe. How could you not pick Shadow Demon here? I would be utterly shocked
I
if
don't
they
think you're
didn't pick
picking
SD.
it now, right? I think Moon plays Dark Willow. I don't know if
Just put it
Dubu
5. Just put it. You're
would
fine.
play it. Yeah. They'll probably do like Undying. Isn't Undying good against Spectre in the lane?
Well, you wouldn't. You would lane the Undying as a 5. Oh, okay. Okay. So
Whoa.
I'm surprised actually we didn't see that one coming because they banned the AA first phase,
Yeah.
so we expected the Morphling, and then they didn't pick it until second phase, so we thought they weren't picking it. But then after the Willow, it's like, well, yeah, of course, this is the classic combo. I think this is like the highest damage dealing combo of all the morph combos. I've never seen more damage than the like Willow Ags bullshit. Even Shaker
Yeah.
feels like it does less.
It feels like it could be
Shadowrun quite good.
greedy on paper, right? Like Morphling and Luna. I mean, maybe you get away with it. You're Undying, you're going in Sad Boy, sure. And I know they're very great farmers, Tomato and Brile in their own right, but feels a bit greedy, or is that kind of like an old take to these two cores being together? Don't they both need a bit of time to kind of get to their, prime state? Or no?
Yep. No, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. And when we see this morph mid, it really doesn't seem like it works out that well like it used to. It seems slow. It doesn't seem like it dominates the lane hard enough to make up for the fact that it's kind of slow. I mean, it is Brow playing this. I think this is... But then again, it's like in terms of individual skill, I wouldn't put Brow that much above Ryoya. Like,
All right.
they're...
I actually can't believe it, man. The Shadow Demon looked way too good this game. I mean, even with a Morphling, I know it's a mid Morphling, but that's another like hero that you can make god tier illusions out of.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they get
very
the Witch Doctor.
strange.
Good sustain. Values well against the Morph as he does the stat change. You get extra heal bonus out of it. The final pickup, though, for the Sad Boy side is going to be the Tiny. Ryoya's
Wait.
there. Moo is on the Timber Saw.
5
They
timber.
have either, is it a 5 Timber or they change things up? I guess it's a 5
I
Timber.
think it's
Either
a
way,
5
this is
timber, dude,
crazy.
against the
Take it in.
Centaur.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Okay.
Give me your thoughts, Jenkins. We got to make it fast.
Oh, I'm gonna go on dying. This is a little too crazy.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, I can talk about the Timber Saw all day. I mean, he is the best Timber Saw, but Z-Freak on a Nyx instead of a playmaking type hero, I'll go Undying.
All right, fun stuff. Let's see what happens. We got to get into a break first, but when we come back, we've got none other than Trent and Parker bringing you the broadcast.
Alrighty, we're back, and it is a new series for today, Fine Sunday, and we have got ourselves, we're going to talk about a trend, a 5-position Timbersaw, juicy stuff.
Yes, as expected, obviously, from
Yeah.
the very beginning. But in all seriousness, I came across this like last week when I was looking up my good lad MJZ in the SA region, who tends to play very greedy 5s, and I'm checking out some Timbersaw games, and I see the little support symbol next to a couple Timber games. I'm like, what is this? And Moo and MJZ apparently have both tried it out. I believe they both lost, shockingly. maybe not so shockingly. And they basically just buy Soul Ring and then play Timber. I haven't watched the full replay, but my theory on it is that it essentially uses the early pick Timber, lets it be a flex, and you essentially scout for vision in the mid game, kind of like an ABBA who just kind of runs in, you know?
Okay. And what about, so you're an ABBA in the mid game who just runs in. ABBA has an ultimate, so is the idea that Timber's just going to throw away his life, try and set up a good fight then? Like, because I'm just not seeing what this... It just feels like the hero doesn't do support things later on.
No, it does have a lot of damage, though. I mean, it's pure damage, so, you're getting a lot of stuff out of it. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the laning prowess is. I think that could be the most impressive part. Oh, Z-Freak's making the play. Oh, he's in there. Oh, they got had. See, look at this. The bait from the tanky support on the bottom rune. Let Z-Freak sneak in behind and grab the other.
Very nice. And he'll be able to get out just fine. It looks like no one's going to bother chasing him when he's got those boots. So, sneaky little bounty rune snipe to start things off.
He worked so hard for that, though, but they didn't go for the river one top that was completely empty.
Oh dear. Well, Ubu does what he does best and grabs a double rune, so... Witch Doctor feels very good this game. I know there was a lot of calls for the Shadow Demon, but I'm totally happy with Witch Doctor. You look at Maledict against heroes like Necro, Spectre, that feels like a very useful spell to have this game.
Yeah, they both have their merits. I think the Witch Doctor is just like a little bit safer. It'll be kind of annoying versus the Ghost Shroud, like when you're trying to get like ulti kills and stuff, but aside from that, I just feel like when I hit level 6 on this hero, I can just go do stuff, and it doesn't feel the same way when you play a Shadow Demon.
Yeah. It feels like the Shadow Demon almost needs to be a 4, because otherwise it just feels a bit greedy in that 5 role. I mean, like Jenkins said, it's so good this game, maybe it was worth picking regardless, but...
Yeah, 5, the Willow, yeah. It could have been done for sure.
Well, early Timber chains for Moo, putting a lot of pressure on Undying down bottom. Moon Meander getting very low to that, but... I'm definitely curious to see how this Timbersaw does. So far, it's looked okay as far as zoning these hero out and securing fear a good lane.
Now, what's really surprising is how you typically see very 5e supports with the Spectre, the Warlock, the Undying, big lane secure. So one would think they have the same concept with this Timber.
Yep. Just a hero to really get in their face and... theoretically, I mean, the problem is you're going to have to be leeching XP constantly, because I think even as a support Timber, in my head, I feel like the hero still needs a lot of XP. Mm-hmm. He's going to want that point in reactive armor early on. But, a support with reactive armor sounds pretty nice when you're trading right clicks.
Yeah, get to level 3 and you'll be in business. And then I could also see this, 10-minute rotation when they go top and they bring the Spectre and they try and kill the tier 1 tower. And who would sit mid and hold your tier 1? Well, why not a support Timbersaw? What are they going to do?
The quote-unquote dead lane hero, it's a 5 and it clears waves. It doesn't die that easily. So perhaps a good hero in some rights as a 5. We're talking about the upside.
Yeah, Moo's just going to do whatever he can to try and get on Timbersaw. Let's be real. Yeah. That's what's actually happening here.
And, it's not totally let's meme, I would say, but there probably is an element where it's where we've had a rough start to the NA DPC League. We're not going to the major. Let's just try out some new fun stuff and see if it can work. I feel like there's at least a slight element of that.
It's certainly possible. I do, however, like the Necrophos pick. This is a hero that we don't see all too often, and I mostly see it versus Spectre. So I don't know if that was part of why they picked it up. They were just just in case we get a couple tanky heroes, this could be really good versus us. But Monster will be aiming for the scythes. That's really all that matters. Hit good scythes in the mid game, and you can win any game with this hero.
Oh, absolutely. And as far as the lane goes, maybe a little tough, and that's where I feel like if he can get out of this laning stage, he is, positioned to have a very good game. Very helpful hero to have against, a Morphling, a Centaur. And if you ever get a Scythe on that Luna, that's going to completely ruin Tomato's game.
I feel like he used to be such an annoying hero to lane against, and now he just feels so passive.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the Heartstop aura is not as scary anymore.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, Necro used to be the hero is going to win the lane but lose the game. That was kind of the story with so many Necro games.
Yeah, now if I'm in lane versus him, I'm just okay, this guy's just kind of there.
Yeah.
I guess you can't really force him out that easily, which is obviously going to be really nice in the modern heyday of position 3.
Does a really good job. Gets all 6 last hits underneath his own tower, so sets himself up a bit better in this lane. Pretty even. As far as the mid lane goes, down bottom, Moo, his Timbersaw having a decent-ish time. Like, we're not really seeing, I feel like, the downsides too much of the Timbersaw yet.
I'm very surprised he can get away with the 1-1 build. That seems kind of crazy.
Yeah,
It's like,
especially
what
when
if
he doesn't have a mana pool.
now? Yeah. All right, Moo, I don't know about this one. Like, does he just go die? He can't contest like 3 minutes. What is he going to be ready at 4 minutes to go mid? I mean, the creeps almost killed that courier. That was nice.
Yeah, because when we saw him just spamming that Timber Chain level 1 with basically no mana pool, you just kind of assume he's going to get reactive armor because he doesn't have the mana to use both spells. But, you know, he's got a stick, he's got a Mango, so perhaps looking for a kill opening where he can pop the Mango and get a double nuke off. But
I wonder if he's shown it yet. And yeah, I wonder if that's part of it, where he's going to like bait them.
yeah, I mean, they know he doesn't have reactive armor though because they're right-clicking.
That is true. Yeah.
Gets rooted into a neutral camp, forced to
God.
Fairy Fire.
I can't believe he's going to get the 3-minute rune. I thought there was like no way. Oh, 140? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And now Brawl has that to fall back to later. So nicely done from Moon.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't even close. He was real dead.
I feel like playing against support Timber, like if that was me, I would feel so good because playing against Timber as a support player feels miserable generally. And this time you're like, it's a support. He's not going to have farm. He's not going to have high levels of reactor. This is like a dream game to play against a Timber in so many ways.
Yeah, it's like therapy, you know? You're finally getting a little bit of revenge here. Nice route, though. Oh, Moo's getting a bit dishy. You know, he's actually running out of trees to make plays up at the top of this lane. But I guess he's got the buffs, right? The 3-minute trees, so they should be coming back pretty soon.
Already, there we go. They're respawning now. But yeah, kind of as mentioned, you know, going and dying, not the worst thing in the world for him since he does get the health and mana pull back, but already chewing through a lot of that mana early on is... Yeah, I'm going to pressure Moon here. Gets brought very low, but he calculated that, had the Shadow Realm to get out of there. 2 points in the Shadow Realm. Has this been the Willow build that you're seeing?
I've seen both, Max. I think Max Shadow Realm's still really nice, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I don't know about this. He's like paying so much for the experience too. Every time you look at him, he's just like buying more regen too. I mean, certainly it's, I think, not a laning focused idea because obviously Fear is struggling a bit because of it. So we'll have to reevaluate it during the mid game.
I mean, other than that first blood, all 6 cores at least are getting farm. Moo, getting brought down again. Yep, Moon gonna get a second kill on him. I mean, at least they're going on Moo rather than Fear, because it feels like Fear has not had to continually buy regen in this lane. He's actually, you know, not free farming by any means. He's got 25 CS, but at least is not getting pressured too much.
Yeah, he's not falling too far behind. I mean, he's what, 100 gold, 200 gold behind Tomato, so it's not a total disaster. Maybe it'll be a little bit overfarmed on the 3 and the 4, but that's all right. They trade a lot of blows up top, but Dubu just holds things steady with the heal. And I'm not talking about mid lane at all, and they're both level 6, so Brian just has to be a little bit cautious, but surely he won't go down.
Yeah, Ryoya not even getting the point in the ultimate, so looking for that extra bit of burst damage for the kill, not feeling like he's under any pressure and needs that bonus armor. And he will get the 6-minute rune. So Invis rune coming up. Dire don't have any vision of the bottom side, so they don't know what rune Ryoya got, and we'll see where he makes his move.
Yeah, he's faking it out, eh? He does the loop back around just in case they had a ward.
Will Bryle...
Oh, the small camp. Oh! Ooh,
So
good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, you gotta know that it's one option here. He's back in. No, he morphed straight.
He
He got it
just before.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'd be so frustrated if I was Roya.
It felt like Bryle was playing as if he knew there was a possibility and kind of expected a possible Invis rune there. So that was nicely done by him.
Yeah, that was impressive though. Like, just mad respect for his opponent in that instance, and certainly pays off as Z-Freak gets coconutted and probably killed here. Oh man, even just the right click with 2 points and the blessing was enough from Tomato.
Yeah, Tomato not going for any kind of an Envy Luna build, leveling up the Lucent Beam. None of this. Let's max Glaives with 1 point in Lucent Beam.
Oh yeah, I've had some 0-point Lucent Beams games lately too. That one I'm not in on. I don't know.
Ooh.
Even with 0 kill threat, it's like it's so nice to help your team sometimes, carry players.
It's like you have a mana pool, you generally want to use it. It's like one of, it's like an important resource in the laning stage is mana.
Gotta hit those creeps though, you know. It's rough.
Yeah.
All right, Moo,
Like,
2 points. Is he living now? 8 stacks? Oh no, he thinks he's dead.
Well, Moo gonna go. I mean, he's having a rough laning stage, 0-3. But yeah, again, Fear. He's only 100 gold behind the Luna. Has treads up, is on his way to a decent time level 6. It feels like there's been no pressure going his way, but at the same time, Center having a free lane. It feels like every core is pretty okay with this lane, other than maybe the Necro, who's having a bit of a rough time up top.
Yeah, it'll be the first time you can be like a position 5 Timber, support Timber lull, you know, when they're feeding and having the worst time. You know, he just is. That's his life, and there goes his ward too. Everything is going down the tubes right now for Moo. Place instantly destroyed by Moo.
Yep. And they just can't touch Saberlight now. With a Hood plus Raindrop, Magic Wand, he is unkillable.
Ow. No Vanguard early though. Obviously, I mean, you just go for one or the other, so
Yeah.
understandable. I mean, usually both. You just one just comes first, but I'm definitely getting a little sick of this hero. Not gonna lie, Centaur is way too good. His laning is insane. He buys all the best items of the patch, and for some reason, he is a global save on top of that. It is so funny how a hero can go from like completely irrelevant to suddenly the best offlaner in Dota 2.
Yeah. And it's not just like NA region. It's like every region you tune into. It's like, oh, hey, here's a Centaur. This hero is doing some good stuff. Stun in the mid lane. They want Bryal.
Not in time though.
More strength off. Yep. It was just a little too far for the Ava. Ryoya's trying to make these moves. Like he's managed to secure 2 power runes in a row, but unfortunately, a regen rune wasn't a very useful one to gank the side lanes with. So,
Monster's trying to get out of here. He's like, I don't not have a good play. Oh my god! Wait, what?
okay, they survived.
Wow! They saw Ryoya coming on the obs, and they just either thought Malik was gonna kill him or decided it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. Back bottom. They bounce around the stun onto Moo, who now has 3 points in react. Now he's feeling like a Timbersaw. He still feels like a support Timbersaw, but at least, you know, he's living up to the hero's name with the 3 points in reactive.
Unfortunately, he's versus a Willow that might still be able to bring him down with Bedlam.
Yeah. And it's a 2k gold lead early on, so we mentioned how, you know, Fear's actually having an okay lane. These lanes aren't, you know, going too bad for the Sad Boys cores, but they're still pretty far behind.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's like Ryoya needs to find some place to make his move, but I guess that's gonna be back all at the back of a Vendetta probably.
Yeah. He's trying to be active. Like I feel like he hasn't done anything wrong. He's just not getting the right runes, and doesn't really have any good teammates to play around. Like Necro, Spectre are not heroes you gank for typically. Monster,
Monster? Yeah,
Okay.
there's that turn.
Gets away from the Death Ward, and here's the Haunt. So this is going to be a scythe kill from Monster onto Dubu as the TP in from Moon Meander. If they chase further, there is a Bedlam Terrorize perhaps waiting for them, but nice rotation.
Yeah, that's the main problem with the Witch Doctor over the Shadow Demon, because the Shadow Demon can just like counter the Ghost Shroud and you can just keep fighting him, whereas the Witch Doctor like straight up just counters your ulti completely.
Yeah.
Radiant's
But again, every other hero you're probably gonna feel better as the Witch Doctor, so I do get it. And he also helped them sustain versus all the annoying like spam with the Death Pulse and the Heartstopper Aura the whole time, so that has gotten a tomato into the jungle as finally Ryoya gets one. The blink
blink
reveal. Very nice.
And going for the full 4-4 build without, I think he only just got a point in grow now at level 10. So really holding on to that grow point for later.
Yo, Moo?
This is where Moo shines, you know. He's
Got Soul Ring. Oh, it's not enough though.
Okay. Yeah, he's going for it. He's got a rotation coming in from Ryo, who's going to Blink Dagger. I think this could be a kill, but the Stampede will help him get out. Ryo is still hunting. Seems to have an idea of where he is. Finds a Witch Doctor instead, and he'll happily take it. Yeah, had just enough damage with the tree throw.
All right, Sad Boys turn it up here.
Okay.
Sad Boys.
They're online, and Brow's coming. He's going to get a kill, but he isn't a... Okay, no, he's got backup. He's got Tomato with him now, and with a, potential Eclipse. Tomato, can he find the TP cancel? No.
That was a nice morph. That was looking good. Saberlight, they're still messing with him down bottom. Now they're going to bring Tomato. Moo, have you gone too deep? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You know, he had a good run. He'll be back, I'm sure. This is his lane now, this bottom lane, it feels like.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't burn Eclipse though, so it's still gonna be really easy to kill him, I feel.
Agreed. Definitely not a free lane by any
Oh,
means.
right.
All right.
Radiant's
He's
bottom tower is under
continuing
attack.
to start to pop off. He got such an early Blink Dagger that even though he struggled to find kills before this Blink, as soon as he gets it, he kills the Morph, gets the Witch
Radiant's
Doctor
middle
twice.
tower is under attack.
Fear's farming away. He's the Blade Mail as well, so they're feeling pretty good.
Yeah. This Necro can kind of just sit top, has a hood
Radiant
completed,
are
mech
scanning.
almost completed as well, so Monster's pretty hard to kind of rotate on himself.
Radiant's scanning the triangle. That's interesting. Oh, they're maybe thinking about moving up there.
Going Monster top. Mid the Bedlam, but Monster pretty tanky here, holding onto the Ghost Shot. Doesn't even end up using it. Turns with a Reaper, gets the, well, kind of kill, steal, or secure onto Moon.
Yeah, they
Secures
could
a
have had
longer
both.
respawn.
I think, because he vendetted the Morphling.
Unless he was out of cast range for Reaper. It is a pretty low cast range, but it looked like he could have gotten Bryle there
Dire's
too.
top tower is under attack.
Oh, that'll leave Bryle up here, but of course he's still vulnerable with Roya lurking around, and they will find that Ob Sentry, I think. They're waiting for a courier to get here, unfortunately. They can't get the vision.
Bryle just forced to TP out, so again, it's Moo down bottom. I mentioned this is his lane, but it seems to be more like his graveyard. Whoa, Saberlight got so low there.
That Whirling Death bonus tree. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think this tower's going down with Bryle's TP down here, but they're going to trade tier 1s, and he delays it a little bit, so things going actually okay for Sadboys. I'm still not really convinced about this Timbersaw and what he's bringing to the table, but the draft as a whole, I think, is looking pretty solid.
Surprising how well everything else is going, considering that they have a 0-5 and 0 support Timbersaw.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of disappointing that you don't have any way to like stall out the towers though too, because like it feels like that is his job, and now he dies once and the tower's just gone because they can take them so quickly with this lineup between a Morphling and a Luna. That seems a little concerning. Zefric though knows that he's not scouting.
Yeah. Comes in with an Avatos, blows up Moon Meander. That's a better kill than the Witch Doctor. And Zefric, oh, he's just on the edge. He's going to run into a sentry now. So now they see him. He knows there's a sentry, and then he got out of range. So he actually has a very good idea of exactly where that sentry is now.
Yeah. And did steal quite a chunk of XP. Got himself to level 8 as well. Oh, couriers coming outside the base. Oh, got him.
Courier has been killed.
Another nearby.
Instantly moves the Luna courier back to the high ground.
Yeah. It felt like he wasn't bringing it out on purpose because he knew Nyx was in the neighborhood. Ryoya's hunting, but he's underneath an observer ward, so he's got to be careful not to give away his life here.
Oh, good blink, good blink. And heaving the Willow, too. Maybe a smoke? Nope, we're just bottle filling, of course. Typical support player life.
Oh, definitely. It feels like kind of Ryoya's game to take over until Fear comes online. He's already 4-0, and if he can keep getting kills while Fear farms, things could quickly start to look really good for Sadboys.
I mean, yeah, this kill isn't easy. He has the haunt, so it has to be 100 to 0.
And there's a Tiny to back him up and kind of bail him out.
Oh,
Fear not
nice.
even going to go for the hold. The Terrorize stopping it, and unfortunately that means he is going to be going down. Great Terrorize coming out from Moon, and they heal up Saberlight. But here comes the chase. Zefric comes in with a Carapace. They're going to delete the Centaur. Duba, he's next with the Reaper. Is the damage there? You betcha. And now Tiny. Ryo's got another stun toss combo. Not quite enough damage to take out the Willow, who is going to get Chakram slowed down and brought down by Ryoya. Great response from Sadboys, even though they lose Spectre.
And they're still going in here. They're going to run right into Tomato. Oh, Zefric, not quick enough with the stun, though. I mean, they don't have the Scythe anyway, so it's probably fine, but that's an okay return, I would say, with how much time that took, and the fact that Tomato didn't get involved. He kind of lurked around near the sidelines and then didn't use the Eclipse, so I don't think Fear lost out that hard in that one.
Yeah. It was both the two Undying carries. It feels like they've got two basically hard carries this game who weren't dying, and well, at least Morphling was off farming, but you know, a 3-for-1 trade when you're behind, they're not behind, they're up 2k gold now. I mean, this is, looking really solid for Sadboys. If they can get this T1 mid tower sometime soon, this map was going to completely open up.
Well, here he is, level 9. Moo has arrived. Look at the power. What 5 can do this? Well, Abba can, and he puts a curse on the tower. Yeah. So,
Yeah, but does Abba become a core? Because if I'm Moo, I'm saying, guys, just give me some farm, and we're going to have 4 cores right now.
I think that is the plan.
Blink stun. Monster gets gone on by Saberlight. Is the damage there? Doesn't look like they're going to commit the Eclipse. As the Curse Crown going to stun Monster.
I'm counting 5 heroes, though. Space for fear. Very nice.
Yep.
Thinking about a Yasha next after this into the Manta and maybe a Scotty versus a Morphling. I like the item choices. S and Y almost done for Brile, though. Item of the patch pretty much right now for the carries.
Yeah, both Brile and Tomato, top 2 net worth. I mean, only basically neck and neck with Tiny and Necrospectre not too far behind. So by no means is it a big carry farm league. I mean, as we've mentioned, the gold lead does still favor sadboys, so it feels like a very even game in many ways.
See, Freaks had the big scout on, has not been under a sentry this whole time. He's about to lose the Vendetta, though. Does he go for the damage? Nope. Nothing.
It almost looked like he didn't quite realize Vendetta was wearing off. But...
yeah, I feel like you would went for the poke anyway.
Yeah. No. Reveals himself, but also reveals the fact he doesn't have much backup. Otherwise, you know, he would have probably gone on the Luna if there was any heroes behind him. As Moo again going to show in this mid lane, tank some creep waves, get those reactive stacks up. They want this tier 1 mid tower. Can Undying go on Monster here? They've seen it, done it before. They're going to go for the Blink Stun on him, follow up with the Terrorize. Can they bring out the damage? It looks like with the Death Ward, they're going to get the kill, preventing any spells being cast. And now Moo dead as well, with Brile stealing the Timber Chain. Really good defense from Undying.
Yeah, I guess on the one hand, they're like bluffing, and that we have a bunch of heroes behind us. Do you really want to jump a Timber into Necrophos? But they called their bluff quite accurately. They have some vision inside the radiant side of the map too, so I think they probably just saw that, like, hey, this is definitely not all of them. Like, sure, they can haunt, but we have a lot of burst damage and a lot of chain stun here whenever we have the Terrorize to work with.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That was way too easy. Like,
Blink out from Tiny. He saw Saberlight coming, but now doesn't have a blink to defend this tower. TP coming in from Moo. This tower is going down. The question is, can sadboys make a response? They Carapace on the Centaur, and that's going to set up a nice combo. Great initiation from Zephyr, just using that Carapace against the Retaliate, and now they're looking for more. Moo's chasing in the 5 position, leading the way with the Chakram, doing a lot of damage here on the front lines, but unfortunately gets Maledicted, which means it's going to be the death of him, but Ryoya gets an Avatos combo, takes out Dubu. Can they find more? It looks like they're going to have to back off for now, wait for those spells to cool down. Unfortunately, that means Ryoya is going to get caught, picked off, brought down.
that cost Saberlight his buyback to get that kill, though.
Okay. That's true. Not bad. Not terrible in the end, and you know, we've kind of mentioned a few times when all these actions going on, Fear, just getting the space. He's farming. He did kind of haunt in for that one, but he is not being pressured at all.
Man, that's an expensive buyback. I mean, it's kind of an interesting concept because you're basically... oh, gets another one, though. All right, Saberlight's really making it worth it.
Oh, and they have Eclipse. Doesn't even look like they need it. They're just going to, yeah, right-click, loose and beam him down.
It was like a 600 or 660 or something buyback, and the bounty was pretty high though because it was a 7x streak as well. But essentially, you're taking the gold from your Centaur and putting it on your Morphling when you do that, which most position 3, 4, and 5 players would be very happy to do. Pretty safe, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's away from the maze. Yeah, so it really feels like Undying's just happy to stack all this gold on these 2 heroes. Morphling Luna, they believe, are going to carry this game, and, you know, I look at this, you know, I would say I'd mostly agree, at least in the mid-game. I think if it goes too late and Spectre gets too mid, like, basically gets the Scotty, and you're not ahead on the Undying side, things look kind of rough, but if they're going to hit, it feels like a mid-game item timing where they're pretty scary.
Yeah, and Saberlight, like, not needing the Vanguard this game just because there's, like, Necrophos and Timbersaw, and just feels like the Hood's all he needs versus the Tiny, so... going straight for the pipe to help out the rest of the team, so he's not as reliant on the gold as like most Centaurs are, where they want that like double early item stack. But toss up from Roya to finish the mid tower, and they're just kind of clumping up a little bit here on the Dire, maybe ripe for a potential scouting mission here from Z-Freak.
Sadboys is smoked up, camping this high ground. Tomato has a BKB though. He is not a target you want to go on. Moo's hiding behind these... okay, he knows where Moo is actually, and he pings the ward.
Dude was like trying to bait it out by the looks of it too. Sentry from Moo, he's like, guys, they gotta have vision here, but now they don't see anything, and now they drop their own off sentry right on the outpost.
Okay.
Haunt in 4 seconds, so they're definitely ready to run in there now.
And Fear with a completed Manta, so he's in a pretty decent position to get involved in these fights.
These fights are about to get very messy, though, with Tomato's BKB being up and a BKB coming out from Ryoya next, who also has a crazy amount of burst damage with his DD Echo Saber.
Yeah. but perhaps the big timing for Undying, the morph, the combo. We haven't really touched on that. His Ag Scepter with a Dark Willow on your team.
I really like it with the SNY build too. It's just like that's exactly what you want, you know? Just like that little bit of like mid-ground base level elevated amongst your your team and versus your enemies, where you got this slightly higher stat line and you're just gonna be slapping around with the upgrade there. So they're gonna smoke into their own side of the map there. Instantly popped though by from Tomato.
Moo in a good position on the high ground to at least pop one of the smokes. You know, doing that 5 position tanky support thing. Just running in, scouting the smokes, gets Saberlight, Moon. Unfortunately, they are close enough to catch Ryoya, who couldn't quite blink out in time. And I believe they've got the damage to bring him down. He had maybe a split second to react there on Ryoya, and it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, great jump there from Saberlight. And Moo is able to get out at the very least. Dubu tries to solo him, but obviously the Timber Chain's going to be fair enough to get you away from the Death Ward, so he was all right. And they go right into Roche. We've seen how fast they can take towers. Roche is not going to be much different.
And that means when they get this Axe Morph, they're going to potentially have an Aegis, but Sadboys could come in and contest this one.
Oh, let's see it. It's time. Oh, he went tiny. Oh, he's still tiny.
Okay, going to wave on in. Has the tiny form Monster. Has got the Ghost Shroud out. Now Moo on the front lines beginning, well, getting feared. And that means Monster as well gets caught in that Terrorize. Perfect execution with the Eclipse here. And Fear, while he's got a Haunt, he's 2v5. So
yeah, they're dead.
It's like they use all their spells, but even without their spells, 2v5 is just not a battle you're going to win.
Moon is actually carrying this game with these Terrorizes, though. They've all been perfect, and they instantly end the fight.
Every time Necro's died, it's been the Terrorize. That's the only way they've... Oh, actually, the one time in the bottom jungle, but the 2 key deaths in team fights has been when he's been terrorized.
Well, now you have Aegis Morphling with an Aghanim Scepter. Bryle ready to take on the world. Wants the Satanic next. Oh, yeah, that sounds fair and balanced with the Dark Willow ulti, that's for sure.
Yeah, good luck bringing him down. Well, the early game didn't look bad for Sadboys, but just a couple good team fights for Undying, and suddenly this game's looking very difficult to swing in their favor.
Pew, 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 pew. Easy.
Oh, okay.
All right, nice.
100 seconds. That's with the buyback time as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Go make yourself a cup of tea and come back, Mr. Saberlight.
Right,
Ryoya
indeed.
down bottom is gonna perhaps get a kill. Yeah, finds the Dark Willow. That's Moon. He's caused a lot of problems for them, but Ryoya with the Maledict on him, unfortunately, is probably in a lot of trouble. The Avatar's stolen, and yeah, wait for it. Oh.
Kill my Willow. This is what happens, you know. This is the old Morphling Shaker strat. You just kill the Shaker. That is actually a slight concern, I suppose. Get that Aeon disc going or something, but Moon, he really wants the Spirit Vessel.
Ag Shard queued up as well. Winning that Curse Crown upgrade.
Oh, that one's nuts. It's so huge. Like, because you have the talent that adds on top of it, and so then you're just, you just get this, like, crazy buffed spell.
And reduces cooldown, too, which always feels really nice.
Does indeed. Seafreak still just scouting with the Yules. I feel like they have not set up the haunt plays they were envisioning this game. That, you know.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, do you see this Spectre? You know, you get Scotty, or do you need another item? Like, at some point, does Spectre kind of go toe-to-toe with Morphling and Luna?
It feels like you need all the items and Abyssal. You know, it's like, at least Spectre can still use that item, but it doesn't even feel that great this game, because at some point the Centaur might have the Aghanim Scepter as well, so... Man, they I think they're on a bit of a timer here from Sadboys, unfortunately. I don't see them out-carrying.
Also interesting, I like this from Tomato. If he goes for this, the Axe is queued up, and he's playing against 3 cores who are not going BKB at this time. Tiny has it queued up, but you know, Spectre doesn't like going BKB. Necro doesn't generally like going BKB, so it is a very good game for an Axe Luna. Bryle, he's looking to come in with a double damage, and the Realm. Waveform in. Z-Freak's still very tanky, yeah. Nicely played with the Yule Scepter.
Okay, can't quite get in there. They does still have the DD, though, because of that, and they're just going to go bottom, try and get all the way down here away from those defenders. Oh, my God.
They send the illusions in to give high ground vision, and yeah, Bryle's just going to come poke with the DD. Does lose the Morph Probe. Okay, now he gets it back, and now they're going to get a Bramble Maze out. Saberlight with a 3-hero stampede into a Terrorize. Perfect execution there. Pop, pop, pop. As Bryle is just deleting them with this double damage rune. Is going to back off a little bit, perhaps. BKB committed by Tomato here. They've got to be a little bit careful with the buyback from Mook.
Eclipsed yet? I don't think he has.
No, they've got a 2-hero stun from Saberlight as Bryle just throwing in right click from the backlines. Now the wave storms in, takes out Ryoya, gets the Godlike trick. Here, he has got the blade mail up, so he's not a good target to go on here, but Bryle still just feels unkillable on this Morphling, and they're going to bounce. He glaives the Raxus down. Moo needs to be careful. He already fought back, and he's going to get dived on.
So much damage.
Okay, not enough. Well, looking rough for sadboys here as everything just came together perfectly for Undying here in the mid game.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful execution of a strat that you don't see too often. I feel like mid-morph in general is looking a little bit weaker these days, but
Axe
not here.
Eclipse is up.
Oh, and he didn't get the morph off.
Okay, Tomato holding on to the Eclipse, waiting for a good opening. Said just going to kill Moo. And yeah, that's the Aegis pop. Didn't morph as you said, and Bryle.
Is it time?
Careful here.
We finally have an
really
Eclipse?
holding this one. Tomato?
Ever? He wants to win this game without eclipsing. Oh no, there it goes!
Okay. He wants fear. He saw fear, but the blade mail almost kills him. Tomato gets so low. Luckily gets saved. Yeah, Tomato, I think, realizing things not quite going according to plan. Gives out the Australian XD. As they'll take out the mid-racks and
I mean,
probably call it a day.
they could easily go tier 4s here. Like, Spectre buys back. I don't see it changing a whole lot. Oh god, Roy, he's just outside the fountain. Let him in.
Bryle absolutely having a field day with the Scotty Dragonlance. He's just slowing everyone with that extra range, and they're going to commit these buybacks here, but it feels like it's too little too late. Can they make a difference with this one? There's no Eclipse to worry about, but Bryle still full health, full mana. Gets the Willow form once again. Brambles all over. Brambles on Brambles. Everybody being locked down. You just can't get out of this one. It's a maze with no escape. And unfortunately, that is it. Sadboys, you know, in some ways, you gotta say, this was a solid showing from Sadboys. Like, Undying's one of the top teams here in the NADPC League, and at least for the first 25 minutes, this game was neck and neck.
Yeah, it was very similar to those Earthshaker Morphling game styles, where it's like, oh, the game looks really even, or sometimes the team's even behind. Like, they were for portions of this. And then the combo comes together, and you go, right. This is incredibly strong. And so it was.
I guess there was just not much pressure on Undying to have to make any kind of an aggressive move when they know they're going to get this Morphling Willow, and as we kind of saw, just be unbeatable.
Man, that was nice. That was such good execution, though. Like, very few mistakes from Undying. Good laning stage. Unfortunately, the Timber wasn't able to really slow them down on the bottom lane. So the Centaur just got enough for carrying through. And yeah, they had some stuff there. You know, as you said from Sadboys, this was, you know, they've had worse games for sure against worse teams. So there is some hope going into the next match. But Undying reminds me of just like these EGs and Quincy's that are like, taking the game, sure, maybe the picks are like a little bit off, but they still look super serious and very like directed, where they're just like, yeah, we're winning this game. We have a strategy. We're going to execute it. We're not going to make mistakes. Play like we're playing against the best team in Dota.
Well, for Undying, that's a good sign for them that they do manage to get what ends up being a pretty clean win, because they've got big series coming up next week and the week after. They have to still first get through Sadboys, but the likes of EG and Quincy Crew, the top two teams in North America await them. They're going to have to win at least one of those series if they want to advance to the major. But before that, they've got to get through Sadboys. Sadboys team who pulled out a support Timbersaw. We're going to go to a break, and then I want to hear what the verdict is on how that 5-position Timbersaw looked. We'll see you then.